Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a pick a group tarot reading. So really quick, if this is the first time that you're seeing a tarot reading, I'm noticing that a lot of people are fairly new here. So I just want to explain that it is very important that you enter today's reading with very clear intentions. I'm going to explain what the topic is for today's reading, and then I'm going to take you into a pick a group portion where I will introduce the 3 different groups that you can choose from for today's reading. Those 3 groups will have 3 very different messages based on the topic. If you need help selecting a group, there will be a quick meditation portion in today's video as well. The meditation goes for about a minute and it's created to help you connect to your intuition so that you can pick a group intuitively. There are so many different weird, wild, and wonderful methods when it comes to picking a group. So if you are feeling stuck, post it in the comment section below and someone from the community will be able to share their situation with you. I know that a lot of you guys use Siri to help you pick a group, random number generator apps as well. Some of you go based off of if the group reminds you of something that you saw earlier today or something that is related to your person. It's really different for every person. So if you are feeling stuck and you don't find the help from the meditation, I recommend you comment down below and ask the community here what they use. It's been a while since I've done a reading. I've taken a lot of time just readjusting. I have a new dog in my life who is very cheeky, but very smart, and we're all getting used to each other still. So it's been a ride, but he's beautiful. Wait, that's enough. No, he's just very young, and young dogs need a lot of attention. So that's where I've been. And there's also just been a lot going on. I'd be interested to know what you guys have been through as well. So if you feel comfortable, this is a family. Let me know how you've been and how August treated you and what you're most excited about in September. I'm keen personally to just get a routine back in place that works for me. And to hopefully have my animals get along, because at this stage they all hate each other, but what can you do? Let me know what you're hoping for in September, and hopefully we can gain inspiration from each other's wishes. It's just a good thing to do, I think. Let's get into it. I want to announce today's topic. So today's video, we're asking Spirit, how will your future spouse recognize you? It's an interesting topic. I don't think I've done it before. I've done a lot of future spouse readings on this channel. It's a fairly interesting topic. I haven't done this topic before. I've done a lot of future spouse readings on this channel, but I haven't focused a whole video on this. And so I think that it's going to be either very confirming for those who feel like they have met the person that they want to spend the rest of their lives with. And then it can also be really confirming for those who are still seeking. There's a lot that we cover in this reading. There's also an extended reading as well. So it's huge. And before we really get into it, I highly recommend that you have something to write with, something to write on, and something to keep you hydrated as well. So here's what we'll cover on YouTube. We're going to ask Spirit how your future spouse will recognize you, what they'll like about you in the early stages of dating, and what they'll love about you most as the relationship progresses. We're also going to get advice here on YouTube about the connection based on your current energy at the time that you are seeing this video. In the extended reading, we're basically going to flip the roles. So we're going to be asking about you instead. How will you recognize your future spouse? What will you like about them in the early stages of dating? And what will you love about them most as time progresses in the connection? And then in the extended reading, we're also asking for advice on how to come into union with this person. I kind of played the advice by ear. Early on in the readings, I wasn't 100% sure if every group was going to need advice, and then it turned out that all of you got advice. So I can confidently say that there will be advice in each of your groups because I'm filming your intro after I've filmed all the readings. So that is what to expect in today's video. That is what we'll be covering. I'm going to take you into the pick a group portion now, where I'll introduce the 3 groups, and you can take time to figure out which of those 3 groups you're feeling most drawn to. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi Group 3, and welcome to your reading. So lovely to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, Group 3, we're going to be asking Spirit, how will your future spouse recognize you? It's a pretty juicy reading. It's been a lot longer than I expected, but in a good way. So before we get started, Group 3, I highly recommend that you get something to drink, that you're comfortable. Make sure that you get something to write down notes with as well. So like a pen and some paper, or even digitally if that's your MO. Mostly because a lot of information comes through, and I want to make sure that you're taking notes of what resonates. Because it is a general reading, this helps you focus on what is helpful information, and this also helps you to release and not focus on what is unhelpful information as well. So we've got a lot to cover. I've got a little list here of everything we'll be covering. We're going to have a look at how your future spouse will recognize you, what they'll like about you initially, and then what they'll grow to love about you the most. We're also going to get advice on your connection based on the energy and the time that you're seeing this reading. There's going to be an extended reading in which I will reverse the topic. So we're going to have a look at, in the extended reading, how you will recognize your future spouse, what you'll like about them, and then what you're going to love about them as time progresses. So let's get into it, starting with some tissue box messages. How will Group 3's future spouse recognize them? Okay. How many messages do we have? Not a lot. Let's get a few more. Please. Oh, there's one. How will Group 3's future spouse recognize them? Separating. That's an initial. Those aren't initials. Wow, you got a lot of those. That's good. So you only got a few initials. That's actually probably for the best group one, because sometimes the initials can get a little bit confusing, because one of the groups had heaps and it got a little bit like, wow, okay. You know, like I don't exactly believe that you'll have those initials. Sometimes it's helpful, but we got a lot of channeled messages here, so that's good. Let's start. Your first initial is literally the letter F, and for me, when I'm channeling, F is first. So I think that this person feels like a claim over you, like they need to claim you, or they may feel like they're in competition with other people. I'm even hearing that it could be their own friends that are saying to them, like that are attracted to you, and they feel like they have to be in the running to claim you. We have a P, and actually what I'm seeing is for you page. So I think that some of you may have a following, or this person may really like looking at your pictures. They may stumble across your pictures online. For some of you, I feel like this person follows you already, or there's some sort of online connection here, and I think that this person may accidentally like your pictures in the beginning, which will be an indication that they're interested in you. Like you'll get a notification saying they liked something, and when you click on it, there's like nothing there. We have a T as well. So I feel like with this T, I'm hearing timing. So how will they recognize you with the T? I do think that timing with this person is very specific to your situation. Sorry, group one, I was quickly interrupted by a phone call, but I'm back. And let's keep going with your reading, sweet soul. We're going to have a look at your other channeled messages. So how will your future spouse recognize you? We have separation, August. This is getting interesting. August could be significant. That's kind of Leo, Virgo season. We also have March. I'm grateful for my soulmate. To be honest with you, this has come out for every group. What else do we have? December, I'm grateful for my hard work. Okay, so we got some Aries, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Capricorn as well. If only coming out. It is always on my mind. These have seemingly loved this reading, these ones. You got a lot that the other groups didn't get though. September, I'm grateful for my wisdom, so more Virgo energy. We also have the 9th house coming out, expansion, risk, and foreign. And we have the 3rd house, communication, siblings, and community. The camera just showed me 111, so you guys, yeah, we got the 1st house now. I was going to say, so you guys could have some significant placements in your 1st house. Maybe you have the same rising sign as what I'm hearing, but that's not going to apply to all of you. I feel like there is a connection with your star signs though. Like their moon could be your sun, or their rising could be your rising, something like that. We have Jupiter. We also have the letter I. Apparently I wrote initials on these ones as well. So we've got I. I'm seeing fit, pit, pift, tip, and tiff. Interesting. We have love coming out. We also have throat chakra. I heard throat love. Okay. If you say so. We also have the moon coming out. Moon signs are significant, especially if you have, you know how every sign has a connected house. If you have like your moon is in Cancer, or their moon is in Cancer, something like that. Speaking of Cancer, we have Cancer again. Interesting. 4th house energy. And Cancer again. Yeah, there's an interesting connection here to cardinal signs. Specifically Cancer. I am seeing Capricorn as well, and Aries is very strong. We have gratitude coming out as well. So let's talk about it. I'm getting a lot of downloads, but I just wanted to get all your messages out before we spoke about it. So group one, how will they recognize you? This person may be someone who has a lot of distractions is what I'm getting, but I also feel like you come into their life at a time when they're about to start something new. It's highly likely that there may be a separation in your connection in which you spend a lot of time apart, Or it could be that you have this sort of on and off again situation before you settle into a relationship with them. Now, I don't want you to go looking at every person that you've had a situationship and thinking, that's the person that is going to be your future spouse, because I don't want you to feel like you're trapped in a situation that isn't fair. But I do want you to know that I'm picking up that this person almost has to kind of mature before they realize how beneficial this relationship is. This person may be very focused on their career when you first meet, especially with this "I'm grateful for my hard work." This strikes me as someone who has a lot to learn initially. And there is a wisdom gained from your connection. The way that they know that you're their future spouse has a lot to do with them creating room for you in their life. I see this as someone who is either very busy or someone who is busy creating something for themselves. And so they feel distracted from this connection. I also feel like there's this strong feeling of coming home to you. So there's this sense of like this person having home with you, or feeling like you are home to them. Maybe this person needs to physically travel a distance to be with you, or they live at a distance to you and you feel like you come home when you see them. But I almost feel like there's this beautiful warmth with this Cancer energy of nurturing, and over time you're going to realize like this person's the core of who they are in the best of ways doesn't change. And that's how they see you, group one. They feel like you don't change for all the right reasons. You grow into this very nurturing, comfortable, home-like feeling to this person, in the sense of there is this full circle moment. I feel like this person may have always had feelings for you, but there is this strong feeling of like the way that your future spouse will recognize you is that the love was always there, but maybe it waned like the moon. You guys may have a shared community though. With communication here, the third house, it feels like you have some sort of connection to each other. You could come from the same small town, for example, or you may know friends of friends and be really sort of connected socially. But I do think that you have your differences with Jupiter and the ninth house here. I think that came out in nearly every group though. It's very interesting how I feel like your future spouse is looking for stability as well as excitement. And so they want both and they see both in you. This person really listens to what you have to say. Like I see a lot of throat chakra air energy, strong indication of someone who is an overthinker and they really kind of overanalyze things. Your future spouse will know it's you because of the wisdom and the lessons that you teach them. They feel like you have a lot to teach them, and they feel like with you, life really expands. Whether that's through slow growth, because there's an indication of this person being a slow mover, or whether that's through spontaneous sort of communication and what I would consider to be like immediate action based on what it is that you're saying and what you want. I do feel like there's an energy here of patience in this group though. I can't deny that. It just feels slow. Even though we have this ninth house and Jupiter energy, we also have strong Virgo energy. And Virgo to me just feels very slow moving. And then all this cardinal energy, like, yeah, we want to take action, but we want to be right. We want to be sure, and we want to take action that is going to get us somewhere. We're not just moving for the sake of moving. We're moving because it has to mean something. And this person, I feel like your future spouse, they just really are drawn to the way that you put so much feeling into things. Like you come across as a very soft soul. And I feel like this person needs that. It's interesting that they admire this nurturing energy that Cancer brings. And I feel like maybe they were always searching for that with March, I'm grateful for my soulmate. There's a strong feeling of like when they realized that you were their future spouse, it had a lot to do with them making a connection of you being a soulmate to them. Someone who they feel is very kindred in nature and spirit, and someone who they feel is very warm and healing and nurturing. I feel like despite all of that, This person may have had to nearly lose you in order to appreciate you, with separation being here as how they will recognize you. Maybe the two of you have a period in your relationship in which you live at a distance, and that's where the feelings really grow. But otherwise, there's a strong sense of finding themselves in this relationship and finding themselves in order to get this relationship or gain this relationship to you. And I just feel like it takes them a lot longer than what I'm hearing is typical. So it's not really like a rom-com sort of situation. It feels like you almost know of each other for a while before you realize, like, oh wow, like this is the person I want to spend my life with. So Spirit, how else will Group 1's future spouse recognize them? Okay, we have the Vow. Interesting. How else will Group 1's future spouse recognize them? We also have the Maiden. Okay. Oh my gosh. We have the Forest. And it's on the ground as well. Yeah, wow. I see something big happening around New Year's in your connection. 54 weeks in December being here makes me think that either at the beginning of every year or at the end of every year, something big happens in your connection. Obviously, there's bloody New Year's Eve, but I just think that that time of the year is significant as well for another reason. Maybe that's when you end up getting engaged, or maybe that's when you usually catch up, especially if they go home for Christmas or you go home for Christmas. Maybe that's what happens here. I just see promises and interactions and turning points happening around that time of the year. We also have the Mystic coming out. What else can you tell Group 1? Oh, we have the Starborn, number 3. Interesting. So you have 21, the number 3, 36, number 8, and 54. I'm just saying those dates in case they're significant, those numbers, should I say. At the back of the deck is the Desert. How will they recognize you? To be honest with you, this person has a feeling of guilt with you as well. They feel like they let you down. And I think that it's the fact that that is bothering them so much that makes them realize that they care about you so much. It's highly likely that this person and you may have tried to friend zone each other because it feels like they're almost not supposed to be attracted to you. It's almost like this person wasn't supposed to do this. They weren't supposed to develop feelings in such a way. They see you as a very precious soul, a very soft person, a nurturer, a mother, for example. You're very sweet. For some of you, you are like, there's a sister connection, not between you and them, but maybe between a friend or like a boss situation. You could be like the sister of their boss or their coworker or something like that. But there's this feeling of just you being very soft and sweet. And I feel like even if you're a man watching this, I feel like this person sees you in a very sweet way, and they recognize you as being attractive. They recognize you as having these qualities that they're attracted to. But what really tips it over the edge is the guilt they feel, and feeling like they're not getting what they want, but they're also like trying to kind of do the right thing, and they're not making you happy. And I think that before you're even official with this person, they realize that they have clearly developed very strong feelings for you. I see the Desert here being a separation moment. So it's highly likely that this person's not going to know what you mean to them until they're pushed to the outskirts of this connection, to the outskirts of your energy almost. With the Forest being here though, I do think there is a shared community of some sort that impacts this connection. And I think that the Forest is also talking about your similarities to one another. This feeling of kindredship, like we are very similar, not necessarily physically, but personality-wise, goal-wise, ambition-wise, work-wise, whatever it is on a practical sense or a personality trait, you're very similar. And I see with the Mystic reverse, this person may have ignored the obvious signs, and they may need like that big moment for them to really realize how deep their feelings are. Because I feel like in hindsight, with the Mystic being here, the signs were always there. That's what they realize. the signs were always there, but it's like they were running from them, or they didn't want to accept the signs. They were trying to turn a blind eye to the connection. I also think that this person just needs to feel it when the time is right. So this could be something that you knew a long time before them. You may have known, like, geez, there's something really special with this person, but they may have ran from the connection. With the Starborn being here, I do think group 1 that this person is very introspective. I think they like their quiet moments. I see them stargazing. I see them just sort of meditating even in their own little way. I see them just zoning out and lying on their back and watching the sky or the ceiling. I also just see this person being very internal and having a rich inner world. And I feel like the way that they recognize you is because of how you reflect them back to them. They know themselves very well, and they recognize themselves in you, if that makes sense. The Starborn tells me that there's something very fated about this that they feel, and that's what helps them realize and recognize you for who you are. So it's very interesting, sweets, and not very straightforward, but that is what I'm seeing for you when it comes to how they will recognize you. I want to have a look at what they'll like about you initially now, when the two of you first start seeing each other. So for group 1, please, Spirit. What does this person like most about group 1 when they first start seeing each other? What does group 1's... We have the 10 of Swords reversed. What does this person like most about group 1 when they first start seeing each other? Page of Swords upright. A lot of swords today. We have the 5 of Cups coming out reversed with the 4 of Cups upright. Interesting. Clarify the 10 of Swords, please, Spirit. Okay, we have Busy Beaver, 10 of Wands. It's kind of reversed too, so I'll keep that in mind. We got a 10 clarifying a 10. That's significant though. Clarify the Page of Swords, please, Spirit. We have the Death card. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's something about endings and beginnings here. And the card on the ground didn't flip over, so let's keep going. Clarify these 5s and the 4 of Cups, please, Spirit. We have the 9 of Cups. Wow, a lot of cups and 2 10s. Back of the deck is the Empress reverse, and that's what I was picking up on, the Empress energy with all this Cancer energy. I know the Empress is Taurus, but for you, it feels like a strong connection to the 4th house, Cancer, and just all of this feminine energy, if I'm honest with you, like this matriarch energy. You give matriarch vibes. It's not just feminine, it's like you're the head of something, right? You're the reason why these things come together. You're the reason why they're successful and why everybody feels so grounded, why people have a reason to come home. There's a strong feeling when you first meet of this person being very intrigued by your work ethic. They admire whatever it is that you put your energy into, whether that's in a creative sense purely or more of a work capacity, which makes me think that this person sees you as being very hardworking. So they may have a connection to you through your workplace, but I see that they think that you are someone that really puts a lot of effort into what you do. You're very hardworking to the point where you take on too much responsibility sometimes. You overburden yourself sometimes, but you also know how to blow off steam, is what I was picking up on, because that card came out reversed initially. This person has seen both sides of you, the side that is very strict and pushes really hard, and then the side that is also very, very loosey-goosey and blows off steam because you have to. I'm hearing I have to be. So I feel like with that 10 of Swords though, there is this feeling of you trying to kind of soothe yourself through something when they first meet you. It's like your way of healing is by throwing yourself into projects and work. And I think that it's not that they like these things about you, but they recognize that within you and they understand that about you. I'm also seeing this 10 of Swords reversed as like you in general showing this person a different perspective on how to do things. You may even learn from each other in that way. This person may look at what you're doing and go, dang, I don't want to end up like that, you know? So I got to consider how much work I'm putting in. I've got to consider how much effort I'm putting into this and how much I need to actually take a break. There is this feeling of learning from each other. Your future spouse sees the good, the bad, the ugly, and it's what makes them like you, because I think it makes them more self-aware too. That Ten of Swords reverse feels like them learning vicariously through you, and through what you go through, your experiences. I also think that you may intercept each other at the worst moments when you first meet, so you may be able to give each other that little bit of advice or helpful support that stops the other from really tipping over the edge. Whether you're aware of that or not, I almost feel like you inadvertently have saved this person's life maybe, or given them advice that was actually really meaningful and helped them break out of a really difficult cycle. I'm hearing that what you say to this person really, really resonates with them. And what they recognize most about you is your wisdom, your experience, your communication, your advice, your sage wisdom, apparently. But mostly what it is that you have to say. Now, with the Page of Swords and the Death card, I feel like either you're both going through some sort of ending and new beginning when you meet, or there is this feeling of things being messy in the beginning. And I think that what they like about you is that even in separation, I see this person keeping tabs on you somehow, or I just see them respectfully from a distance, like keeping up with you, if that makes sense. Like the Page of Swords, I could almost see how they're either hearing things through the grapevine about you, or they pick up on information about you. And I feel like with the Death card reversed, a lot of what they learn about you in the beginning seems to come from a place of still needing to heal and not necessarily making things easier, if that makes sense. Like, it's so interesting because it feels messy and it feels painful even, but it also feels like there is this desire to know more about the other person and to at least keep in touch with the other person. I feel like for some of you, one person could even be going through like some sort of heartbreak or separation or just difficult cycle when they meet the other person. Because what they like about you is the way that you kind of preoccupy their mind, the way that it feels to think about you, to be honest. Like, you're a helpful distraction to this person initially. You help them get over the things that they're trying to avoid or trying to ignore or trying to run from for some of you. And I can see how this person is almost lost in you in the beginning. Like, they almost get a bit too infatuated to the point where where does the line end between them and you? You know, it's blurred. I'm hearing, where do you start and where do I end? So with the Five of Cups reversed and the Four of Cups upright, Nine of Cups as well, you make them really happy. There is this feeling of distraction, but there's also this feeling of joy. And the Four of Cups is usually an indication of a missed opportunity. So there is a little bit of a guilt feeling to this. I'm not going to lie. There's this feeling of like, why did it take me so long to realize? And that's why maybe initially it's a situation in which you friend zone each other, or you're just not able to take it beyond that initially. And then when you're feeling more, I want to say receptive, because before then it feels like you may have the tendency to depend too much on that person, or you're afraid that they'll depend too much on you and you don't have a lot to give. It's like you help each other overcome, when the time is right, feelings of disappointment, loss, sadness, grief, and moving things forward. That's how you know they know that you are their forever person, and vice versa, because there's a lot of mirroring in this group. It's that feeling of being able to depend on each other emotionally, and not in an unhealthy way, I would argue, just in a sense of like, I feel safe with you. I also think that you guys are really patient with this person, or vice versa. This person is really patient with you. Because one person is clearly needing more time to just figure themselves out and understand who they are and what they have to offer and what they want to offer. Even though they may know that they have a lot to offer, maybe they don't know what they want to give at this point in their life. So it feels like someone has to be very, very patient for the other person to come around and be able to give love into this connection in a helpful way. You have this interesting connection in which I feel like the two of you, it's not that it gets murky sometimes, but I just feel like you have this way of making a bit of confusion or chaos or even just disruption. Your future spouse sees you as someone that they feel very grateful for, but I feel like they put you through it. Like, I feel like the connection has taken on many shapes. And I think that at a time when they thought like it was one thing, it turned out to be another. Like it should have been over is what I feel. And instead it came back. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I just quickly want to clarify the separation energy. What is going on with the separation energy for group 3? We have the 2 of Wands. So from a distance watching. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay, clarify the separation energy, please, Spirit. What is the significance of the separation energy in Group 1's reading? What is the significance of the separation energy in Group 1's reading? Oh. What is the significance of the separation energy? It just takes a lot of time. The Lover's card reversed. So it does feel like this is the kind of connection in which you have a spark and then time is taken for self. I'm seeing the 10 of Swords twice. So there is a feeling of guilt and betrayal here. How did this betrayal occur? What was the betrayal? The 9 of Cups. Somebody put their own needs first. So it wasn't cheating. Okay, let's rule out those people. It wasn't telling you one thing and doing another thing. It literally either feels like ghosting or trying to just create distance between you so that it doesn't become something serious because they were more focused on themselves, or vice versa. There's a strong feeling of no contact for a while and then coming back together later in life when the time is right. And I do think that there is this feeling of maturity separate from each other. Like you may have even gone to school with this person and then you have your separation, you go through life, you meet other people, you start working on your careers, you start gaining an income, you maybe even have children to other people because there's a lot of feminine energy here, a lot of maternal energy here. And then there's this feeling of like not really forgetting about each other and being able to observe each other from a distance. So consider your Facebook friends list and who's on your stories all the time. But there is this feeling of keeping up with each other. And I think that there was always this acknowledgement of shit, did I do the right thing? You feel like the one that got away. That's what it feels like, Group 1. There's a strong feeling of the one that got away. So it's highly likely that this person recognized your potential from the beginning, which is where I think we need to progress into the next part of your reading, because we need to ask, what do they love most about you? And that'll help us understand how your connection transforms, because initially it's clear that they did not make the best use out of their opportunities with you. It was very much recognition, but distraction, slight avoidance, and a missed opportunity. So what does Group 1's future spouse love most about them as the connection progresses? We have the 2 of Wands reversed again. Wow, it's reversed this time, I should say. It wasn't the first time. What does Group 1's future spouse love most about them? What does Group 1's future spouse love most about them? Okay, we have the 7 of Swords reversed. There's a card on the ground. The High Priestess. Yeah, the High Priestess reversed. I'm hearing I don't get away with shit. I don't get away with shit. Group 1 knows me back to front. Group 1 sees things before I even know they're going to happen. You know this person like the back of your hand. Clarify the Two of Wands, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the Four of Wands. Wow. 2-2. Yeah, very kindred energy. You're very similar. Clarify the Seven of Swords, please, Spirit. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. It's on the ground. We have the Five of Swords. Interesting. Clarify that High Priestess, please. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Oh, well, those cards kind of just fell there, so maybe we'll take them. But we... That's so weird. That's never happened. I feel weirded out. Okay, let me grab these cards too. That's so strange. They literally put themselves... Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. I haven't read in like 2 weeks. No, that's a lie. I haven't done a YouTube reading in like 2 weeks. So has it been that long? Maybe. Maybe by the time you'll see it, it'll be 2 weeks. But it's only been about 8 days, I think. Still a long time for me. The World card at the back, reversed. And I'm just noticing all this crazy stuff. Synchronicities, reminders, I should say. So what fell into place quite serendipitously was the Tower and Temperance. So the irony of those cards chaotically coming out and then balancing themselves into position. Like, what? If you're a reader, you will know that is insanely ironic that those were the cards that did it. I have one more deck to shuffle really quickly, but I am getting downloads for you already. What else will Group 1's future spouse... Wow. Temper Trap, Love Was Lost. Love Lost. Yeah, Temper Trap. Y'all need to listen to that song. It is booming in my mind. Especially the end part where the drums are crazy and he's just belting it out. Our love was lost in the rubble. Oh my gosh. And now we found it. Sorry, you guys, we were cut off by my camera. I don't know where we got up to, but I was telling you guys to go and have a look at Temper Trap, Love Lost, because that song is very significant. I'm going to write it down so that I don't forget, because you definitely, G1, need to have a look at that song. So the card that triggered all of that was this one, Lost and Found on the ground. Now, the other cards... Let's put it there. The other cards that came out for you was I'm Over It. And we have Dependable. And at the back of the deck was What Are You Up To? So I feel, oh my days, look what was underneath that. Divine Feminine. I want more than the physical. Teacher. I didn't believe until now. I'm ready to listen. And underneath that is Devil and Angel. So there's a strong feeling of, I mean, this is the deck of polarity. So every card is going to have a polarity moment. But it's insane how synchronistic those polarities are to your situation. It feels like this person learns a lot from you. And it's this vicarious teaching energy of learning about you or learning from you, learning about themselves from you from a distance. I can see that this person never truly loses touch with you. For some reason, although there's time and space that may pass between you, I still feel like you keep dibs on each other. Like there's this strong feeling of hearing through the grapevine or checking social media profiles or just kind of keeping tabs. What are you up to? ? I feel like this person, I kind of see them, Group 1, over time, what they're going to love most about you is the fact that you feel like someone they should have missed and they managed to reclaim. And I almost see them being in your back pocket then. Like once you reconnect with this person or once you fully connect, because for some of you, it's not that you're reconnecting, it's like now you're properly grounding. It's literally about making sure that you don't disconnect again. And I see that you are someone that is very dependable. This person will always love that about you. You are a busy beaver. You keep yourself responsible and accountable, and you do a lot for the people that you love. Maybe like a true Cancerian, or a cardinal sign. A lot of cardinal signs do that, actually. They're very protective and nurturing, and just very like in their own ways. The way they show love is by doing. So I feel like this person loves that with you. This connection is very much about just acknowledging that it may have never happened anyway in the first place. So now that it is here, we got to kind of make the most of it, is the vibe that I'm getting. The I'm over it energy is interesting, because at the bottom of that we have I miss you. So it's almost indicating that they're going to realize that they may have wasted a lot of time pretending that they were over it when they really did just miss you. But I'm also seeing that this person is not going to be someone who gets away with anything in your relationship. I feel like with the World card reversed at the back of the deck here, there is this strong feeling of needing to go through things in order to kind of be the best version of yourselves for each other. And I could see how with the World card reversed, something that they'll really love about you is how hardworking you are. You put so much effort into the things that you enjoy doing, or the things that you're committed to. They think that you're a very loyal, loving person. And they also see you as someone who doesn't stop until the job's done properly. So they see you as someone who's fiercely dependable and loyal. They also see you as someone who is a bit of a perfectionist. What they love about you is your attention to detail. I feel like nothing goes past you. Like, they may try to pull the wool over other people's eyes and get away with it, because I see that this person uses communication to kind of mask themselves sometimes. And they may even just go quiet and try not to like let people fixate on them. Like, I could see how this person is either a little bit of a wallflower, or they just kind of ghost people every now and then. And they try to just kind of like remain somewhat of like an anonymous figure in the background. But I think that with you, like, you keep them accountable and you make them kind of stand out, and you help them voice these things. And I'm really feeling like you don't let this person get away with shit. Like, you can read their mind almost. You know them that well. So with the 2 of Wands reversed and the 4 of Wands, I just think that what they'll love most about you is the harmony that you bring. There's a strong feeling here of balance, peace, reciprocity, and just feeling at home with each other. You may be a bit of a nester as well, especially if you have kids or you're just a very maternal energy. You could be someone that takes a lot of pride in their house, and so you put a lot of effort into making things comfortable and homely and warm. But I just feel like this person really likes to come home to you. There's a strong feeling of coming home to you. But the other thing is like comfortability, stability. If you don't resonate as being maternal, and maybe this is your partner who is, then for you, the viewer, who isn't resonating as being maternal and like a nester, I feel like you bring so much security and stability to this person's life. And I'm not looking at this in a financial way, because I feel some of y'all getting triggered by that, especially if you have income, Capricorns. But I do think that there's just this sense of peace and harmony and stability with you, and feeling at home with you, like a home would feel. The 2 of Wands reversed makes me think that you are actually worth waiting for. Vice versa, whoever's holding this energy up. You're worth waiting for is the vibe here. The other reason why the 2 of Wands is reversed is because I feel like in multiple situations in which responsibilities get out of hand, commitments escalate, and life just happens, there's a strong feeling of always choosing each other and finding a way to prioritize your connection throughout the relationship. And that's what they love most, is the amount of effort you put into keeping peace in this connection. Now, we also have the 7 of Swords reversed with the 5 of Swords upright. So communication with this person is tricky, only because I feel like they're very quick-witted. And I think that what they'll love most about you is you guys call each other out on things all the time. I can see how it's both of you, because I don't think it's just them or just you. I see behavior being called out. I see humor being used as a deflector. And then I see serious discussions around that. Like, are you actually okay, or are you just covering it up with a joke? I see little conversations in, the background of like, are you okay? Do you want to go home? In social situations. Like, especially if you or this person is very introverted. Like, I feel like I could picture you two just sneaking away and having your little moments of not even arguments, but just using communication to gauge how each other is feeling. There's a strong feeling of receptivity, in the sense of so aware. It's almost like a sixth sense of what the other person is thinking and feeling, and helping the other person overcome those difficult thoughts and feelings. I feel like you, especially if anxiety is involved, or even like other things, because even ADHD comes to mind, where communication can be tricky because you lose your train of thought, or you have that attention deficit, or you're just really struggling to articulate for some reason what you need. I see a lot of patience, and I see just reading each other so well, you almost don't need to speak. That being said, I feel like what they love most is that you guys are cheeky. I could see how you have these little moments where people are like, are they fighting? And you're like, no, this is just what we do. We just talk to each other like that. It's just what we do. Like, it's not even in a disrespectful way. It's just that it feels like these are the kind of things that it is a bit annoying, because like you may not even be fully aware of it and they pick up on it. Like, did you even drink water today? And you're like, oh, that's why I have a headache. Okay, thanks. You know, like you're almost frustrated at how well you can read each other, which brings us to this next part. The High Priestess reverse, Temperance, the Tower, the Seven of Wands. It's all happening over here. There's a huge major arcana party over here, and somehow the Seven of Wands got involved. To be honest with you, there's a strong feeling of them loving how much you kind of fight for this connection, and not in the beginning. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you guys are fully like, nah, this just wasn't meant to work out. And you fully surrender this person in the beginning. You let go of it. You're like, it was a false start, cancel plan. You know, there was a spark, but the spark went out. And then you get to know each other, you reconnect, and over time, there's this strong feeling of you really like proving through your actions, through your energy, your effort, through time, how dedicated you are to this person. And I just don't know if they've ever had someone that fiercely dedicated to who they are, because it's not that kind of ride or die where it's invasive, if that makes sense, where it's almost stepping on your toes and you're like, whoa, that's you're a bit too intense. Like, we get it. You love me, give me space to breathe. It's not like a smothering feeling. It's like a full-on nurturing you and supporting you for whatever it is that you want to do without making you feel guilty for it type of feeling. So I just feel like you have a wonderful way of showing to this person through your actions how committed you are to the connection. Rain, hail, or shine is what I'm hearing with the Tower and Temperance here. Rain, hail, or shine. You don't have to feel it. It's not a subliminal feeling. It's not a gaslighting feeling of trying to convince you how to feel. It's literally like, let my actions prove it to you. Because my actions don't lie. Your eyes will witness the truth. You know, I don't have to convince you. It's literally like the proof is in the pudding. So many metaphors in that one analogy. But anyway, I do feel like what's happening here with the Tower is this person loves that you have two sides to you. One side that is very peaceful and nurturing and loving, and the other side that is just like, you know what, I need a meltdown, and I need a meltdown right now. Because I feel like from the beginning they saw those two sides. They saw the side that carries responsibility well and you push yourself so hard, but they also saw the side that likes to blow off steam and have fun. And so as the relationship progresses, I feel like they encourage you to be both, to do both, to have both, to temper yourself healthily into accepting all aspects of yourself. And maybe you've helped this person too, to do the same. There's a strong feeling of just balance, acceptance, and kind of being unconditionally loving towards each other. Like, you be you. There's no strings attached. Like, I want you to enjoy yourself and to have fun. But when it comes to the connection, there's a strong sense of like constantly proving yourself through your actions. With the High Priestess reverse, there could be moments of insecurity, even jealousy in this connection. Only because I just feel like as time progresses, you're going to need to be very transparent with each other, very honest, You pick up on each other's energy so well. So if anything comes between you energetically, they feel it, you feel it. So you got to kind of air it out and put it on the table and say like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I don't feel comfortable with you hanging around so-and-so, or I don't feel comfortable with you working those long hours. Like, I'm worried about your health because of this, that, and this. When was the last time you had salad? You know, whatever it is, whatever the conversation is about, it's like you learn over time that you always have to air your grievances and be transparent, because you pick up on each other very quickly. You can read each other like a book. So let's get some closing advice for you, Group 1. This advice is relevant to where you're at now. So what does Group 1 need to hear about their connection with their future spouse right now, at the time that they're seeing this reading? In the extended, we're going to get advice on how to come into union with each other, as long as the cards don't run away. There's 2 on the ground. Interesting. There's a strong emphasis on healing, opening new doors, and trying to recover. So I almost feel... Oh, I just got rid of the one that I wanted. Dang. Okay. Let's get advice, please, Spirit, for Group 1. I almost feel like you do need a stronger sense of self before this person comes in. Otherwise, it's the kind of connection that you just end up losing yourself in. Okay, we're just going to take those 3 because the cards are acting crazy. We have, I always have a choice. So right now you need to hear, I always have a choice. I choose to believe that it is easy to change a thought or a pattern. It is my choice to do so. That's interesting, because it's clear that the reason why your connection thrives is because you choose each other. You don't choose the other options. You don't choose to pursue somebody else's dream and feel disappointed, because that's what a 4 of Cups can be too. It's like you chose the safe option, or you chose the option that your friends told you to do and you didn't get happiness from it. Interesting. We also have, I create wonderful new beliefs for myself. A lot of this has to do with your thought patterns, which is interesting. My consciousness is now being filled with positive thought patterns that contribute to my health, wealth, and loving relationships. And we also have, I heal myself on all levels. Wherever I am, there is a healing atmosphere. It blesses me and brings peace to me and to all those around me. So coming into union with this person, to be honest, healing is a non-linear journey. You're never fully healed. You're never going to hit a point in life where you can go, I'm literally the most least complicated, least, like you may have moments where you feel like the best version of yourself, but there's always going to be something. That's just how life works. We're always challenged. We're always triggered. We're always inspired. We're always given opportunities. So it's not about being perfect, but it is about being aware and self-aware, because if we're not, we project and we create more pain. So I feel like right now, the state of your connection is just about bringing a level of peace to where you're at now, and a more awareness about your actions and how to put out that energy of healing so that you're not attracting something that you don't need, which is more pain and a hurt situation. I see a lot of emphasis on your thought patterns right now, which is about, specifically this card is saying it's about changing your thought patterns and reminding you that your life is a reflection of the choices you make, the actions you take, and the decisions you choose to live by. And then this other card is saying that you need to fill your consciousness with positive thought patterns that do contribute to your health, your wealth, and your loving relationships. It almost feels like you have to reclaim what makes you happy and what is going to kind of bring you joy, so that when this person comes in or when they come back in, you can recognize them for who they are and for how they fulfill those needs. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Group 1. That's where I'm going to call your reading. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we will have a look at the situation in reverse. We're going to have a look at how you will recognize your future spouse, what you'll like about them initially, and then what you'll grow to love about them throughout the relationship. This reading, I feel, was very crossed over. So I hope that the next one, the extended reading, really confirms and kind of separates and offers a clarifier on your feelings versus theirs and your recognition versus theirs. So if you're interested in the extended reading, it's going to be very extensive. The link to the extended reading is in the description box. All extended readings currently, like as in the 2022 readings from February onwards, are on my channel, my website, excuse me. So I highly recommend that you just either go to my channel or have a look at the link in the description box to find this reading and just connect with whether there's anything else there that you feel may resonate. The only other thing I want to say is just thank you so much for all of your support, Group 1. On YouTube right here, your energy, your time, your effort is most appreciated. I really appreciate you for stopping by and exchanging valuable energy and time with me. Thank you for all of your support, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 2, and welcome to your reading. Today's video we're going to be asking Spirit, how will you recognize your future spouse? I got a little list here of things for me to cover. It's going to be fairly detailed. My goal is to get as much info as possible. I highly recommend before we get started that you have something to write stuff with, because if anything does resonate, you can record it in your little journal or on your little page. Because this is a general reading, writing down what resonates helps filter through what doesn't. So I recommend you do that. We'll also be having an extended reading. As I mentioned in the intro, in your extended, we're going to reverse the topic and look at how you will recognize your future spouse. So let's get into it, starting with how they recognize you. Let's start with some tissue box messages. It's been a while since I've done these. Group 2, please, Spirit. How will they recognize Group 2? How will Group 2's future spouse recognize them? How will Group 2's future spouse recognize them? Oh, we got a lot of messages. Let me just separate all the initials first, because sometimes the initials aren't actually as helpful. So we may as well kind of put those to the side. And then we'll have a look at the other messages. Any other initials over here? Little ones. There's a big one. I thought there was a little one as well hiding somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, let's get the initials out of the way. To start off with, we have the letter Y. I feel like it's interesting that Y. It feels like this person may have a very unique name that's not like Anglo-Saxon derived, or you may have a unique name. I feel like they'll recognize you. We have the H here. You have qualities that they are intrigued by. I'm seeing the I now, intrigued, very intrigued by you. You guys may be from different backgrounds. That could be part of the reason why you're so attractive. We have another I here. Intrigued. We also have an N. A very big N, a very little N. And we have a K. If you're interested in starting your own tissue box collection, I sell a cutout sheet that can get you started. I recommend you have a look at it on my website. We also have an F, speaking of started first. So there's this feeling of needing to claim you. I feel like they are attracted to you from the beginning, like from the moment that they see you. But I'm getting this feeling that they see you in a situation in which the two of you have to kind of be strategic, or they have to really think on their feet and kind of consider the situation in terms of other people. There's almost this feeling as though you are already sought after, or you have somebody around you who's already kind of trying to make their claim. Some of you may even be in another relationship when you meet this person. And so I feel like your future spouse recognizes you and is intrigued by you, but they have like to have this plan in place in order to move things forward. We also have a T. We have another Y, so a lot of repeat letters, 2 I's, 2 Y's. That means that you or them will probably have double letters in your name, like Jenny, 2 N's, or it could even be a name like Jamie, where it's like Jaimie, those 2 I's there. We have no coming out. We'll pick up on what that means. We have another Z, so 2 Zs. Oh no, this is our first Z. Interesting. And we have a C. With Z, I'm hearing zebra, and C is like camouflage. So I feel like there's something about this meeting. They recognize you because they seem to have time to observe you. They seem to have time to watch you, and their intrigue is very instant. It's like instant intrigue. But I feel like they have time to kind of get to know you better before the romantic side is really strong or pushed. I almost feel like that's because of the circumstances in which you meet them. Some of you are already in another relationship, or the setting doesn't allow for the two of you to pursue romance initially, like even a workplace or some sort of situation which other people are around, but they feel like they have to put a claim out on you as soon as they can. So that feels like there is this plan, or this feeling of like following some sort of plan. For others of you, there's a strategy that they put in place. I do think they put a lot of thought into pursuing you before it actually becomes a relationship. And I think with this no here, there is this feeling of them trying to like weigh out the options. If it feels very King of Swords like, trying to kind of do what is fair and what is right, but also like wanting to pursue their own agenda. And so I do think with no, that they may even say like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't pursue group 2. But I also feel like they can't stick to that. So let's have a look at your other messages. We have I wish. Yeah, this is making a lot of sense. Somebody who has a chance to see you for a while before they get to like longing for you. We have maybe, weighing out their options. I wish, maybe. We also have if only. Yeah, this is someone who's this is someone who will spend a lot of time fantasizing about you before the two of you actually get together. We have March. I'm grateful for my soulmates. They feel this intrigue from the beginning. For some of you, they suppress it. For others of you, they really just never lose that feeling. It's just that they can't pursue that feeling straight away. And we have it's always on my mind. You guys, this is somebody who I feel is going to really have feelings for you for a while. Somewhat of like a secret admirer, or maybe they told you what your feelings were, but you at that point could not leave your current situation, or it just didn't work initially. It's giving me like longing vibes. And I wouldn't be surprised if that message is in here too. We have root chakra coming out. Interesting. Starting from the bottom, the thing about this person is how will they recognize you? You are someone that they will have felt before. Like there's this strong feeling of even daydreaming about you and then meeting you, or feeling very drawn to you and not being able to stop thinking about you, seeing you and then fantasizing about you a lot. But this root chakra is a protective energy of needing to create stability and trying to stay grounded and taking a very practical approach. This person may try to talk themselves down from their infatuation towards you. I knew this card was in here, longing. There's a strong feeling of longing for you from the beginning, if I'm honest, group 2. I don't know how honest they'll be, but look what came out, air. So strong air signs, that King of Swords energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This person will spend a lot of time thinking about you. That's how they'll know it's you. A lot of time thinking about you. We have solar plexus chakra. I do feel like this has to do with putting a plan in place, a strategy on how to move forward. Solar plexus isn't as much about strategy as the root chakra though, but together it feels like this person has to play it safe in order to move forward. That being said, we have sacral chakra here as well. So this person is going to be very attracted to you. I feel like you inspire this person with sacral chakra too. You inspire them to be a better version of themselves. It could be because of their attraction to you, or it could be that you have done and said and influenced this person to do some pretty inspirational things. I just feel like this person is very, very, very grateful for your presence, and they kind of look at that. I just picked up gratitude, and they kind of want to pursue that on a more serious scale. I can't believe that. I was talking about them being grateful, and we have gratitude here. We also have third eye, so that feeling of dreaming about you and spending a lot of time thinking about you, fantasizing and seeing you, feeling you, I'm hearing. What else do we have? This person may be very drawn to your smell. They may like smell you before they see you, if that makes sense. I know that sounds weird, but I know a few people like this. It just depends. It's a sensory thing, and that is a part of the clairs as well. It is a form of like, what's the word? Like intuitive, I guess, connection and even mediumship. So maybe they feel like, yeah, one of their senses for some of you could be smell. We have love here as well. So I feel like this person develops feelings for you very quickly, and that's how they recognize you as their future spouse. They get feelings for you very quickly. They can't stop thinking about you. And it could be a very logical thing at first, but I also think that this person has, some Pisces or Scorpio or Neptunian placements that make them very sort of daydreamy. This card is the 12th house, and the word on that card that I'm most drawn to is surrender, hidden, and secret. So I feel like this person is just really trying to be very careful in the beginning, and I think they recognize you immediately, but again, secret, hidden, surrender. We also have Scorpio. Yeah, it felt like a Scorpio vibe, Pisces, Scorpio, some sort of Neptunian placement. They could have Scorpio in there, or Neptune in Scorpio, or something going on in their 12th house. Scorpio could be in their 12th house. We have Libra here as well. Interesting. So I feel like they want something serious with you from the beginning, or it could be that that's how they know, because maybe this person doesn't usually long for relationships like that. They just kind of find themselves falling into relationships. We have Libra. So Libra and the 7th house, there is this strong feeling of trying to be fair and wanting to do the right thing, but also not wanting to lose. So it does feel like this person has to be respectful of a boundary or of the circumstance or a situation. But I think that isn't going to stop them. We're getting a lot of cardinal energy now with Cancer coming out as well. This forward moving solar plexus energy of this person not wanting to give up. We also have Sagittarius. I knew Sag was in here somewhere. We've got that strong connection to Jupiter with Pisces. So it's a strong feeling of needing to surrender and being flexible, but also feeling passionate and inspired and trying to kind of go with the way that they are feeling. I feel like you excite this person a lot. They'll recognize you because the feelings are strong with Cancer, so strong that it has them wanting to take action in ways they weren't expecting with Sagittarius, but you intrigue them, you inspire them with Sagittarius. You have something different that they're looking for. And I feel like there is this obsessive energy with the 12th house in Scorpio, but Libra here says they're going to try to do the right thing while also making sure that they get what they want. Strong longing energy. I wish, if only, longing. I'm grateful for my soulmate, maybe. Very grateful with gratitude. We also have Gemini, so strong air energy. Gemini tells me that you pique this person's curiosity. I also feel like they like listening to you talk or hearing you talk or interacting with you. They'll recognize you because there's something about communication with you just being really fun and easy. They like talking to you. I feel like you have certain topics that light you up. Like when I think of Gemini, I almost think of someone who can be very quiet until you say something that really intrigues them. And that's usually how you get a Gemini to open up. They're not always very chatty, especially Gemini suns and Gemini moons. You have to kind of pique their interest and then they don't stop talking. We have Taurus with 2nd house here as well. I feel like it's easy being with you with the 2nd house coming out. The two of you have similar interests. You help build each other's self-esteem. The routine with each other may be very easy to get into. You may be very respectful of each other's individual routines and needs on a daily basis. I feel like you have a lot of things in common, like you may even live in the same area. The 2nd house talks about like your daily routine, your immediate environment. So it could just be like the two of you, the way that the relationship works is it's very easy to fit into each other's routines. We do have 6th house though. So this is making me think more of health. So for some of you, there is a connection to health and fitness, but for others of you, this is also about routines and getting into some sort of schedule or structure that is helpful for your health. or in pursuing an altruistic goal. I also think, though, there is a feeling of balancing each other out. With this sixth house, this person may recognize it's you because you help them and they help you in some ways. And it kind of helps to balance each of you out. Maybe you have certain aspects of your personality or even your birth chart where you kind of struggle with certain things, and this person excels at that, or they're very helpful in sort of offering grounding and support in that area, and you vice versa. We also have Jupiter, so there's that connection with Sagittarius and Pisces that I was talking about. Jupiter here saying that this person is very inspired, and I feel like they just feel very lucky. But I'm also getting with Jupiter here, you seem to be an opportunity they don't want to miss. They feel like they have to surrender it to a certain extent, but they also want to engage with it and just kind of see where it goes with you. Let's pull some more oracle cards just in case I missed anything. How will group two's future spouse recognize them? How will group two's future spouse recognize them, Spirit? We have the Forest coming out. How will group two's future spouse? We also have the Dead End. How will group two's future spouse recognize them? We have the Queen. And we have the Shadow. Ooh, at the back of the deck, we have the Ocean. And underneath that is the Seed. Yeah, I'm going to keep the deck here because I feel like there's more messages that we may get if needed. It's kind of really obvious that this person is surprised by their feelings for you from the beginning. You inspire this person to get more information because they're provoked into feeling something that they weren't expecting. I'm getting this strong feeling of them believing that they need to pursue things other than love or other than this connection, but instead wanting to pursue this connection, or receiving downloads to pursue this connection. This person may try to put this romance or romance in general on the back burner, but it feels like you're just this good feeling that doesn't go away, and they really develop feelings quite strongly, quite quickly with the Ocean reversed. There's also this feeling of you triggering them in helpful, healing ways. I do think that for some of you, you fast track this person's growth. Maybe they're inspired to kind of address issues and shadow attributes because of this connection. They realize they need to be more self-aware in order to actively pursue you or to be more available for you in this connection. I do think that you meet in a situation in which other people are involved somehow, or other responsibilities for some of you. It's not necessarily another relationship. It could even be that this person is just more focused on their immediate family, or they're more focused on their work. The work is usually a common thing. Their career. With the Forest here reversed, there's this feeling of this person wanting to kind of keep this connection as their own little safe, like, getaway from the other things that are going on in their life. I also think that you just stand out to this person. You're very attractive. You come across as someone who has this regal energy, someone who is either very affluent, you may have status in the community, you may be successful in some way. They could be looking at you in a monetary way. You may have ways of presenting yourself in which makes this person think like, geez, they've secured their bag. You know, they have their own thing going for them when it comes to their finances. But this Queen is more about the energy you exude rather than the material possessions you have. A lot of you carry yourselves in a way that is very attractive to this person. They see you, group two, as someone who can hold themselves and really kind of has a lot to offer. But I also feel like you have a lot to lose. This person believes you have high standards, but they recognize you as a prize, as someone who is very high value. And I think that while they weren't maybe looking for you, there's a strong feeling of needing to pursue you. And that's what sets you apart. Maybe this person isn't usually a pursuer. Maybe they're not usually a chaser. And that's why they have to kind of address their shadows and separate themselves from what they think they need in order to go after what they really want. The Seed tells me that they do feel like this is an opportunity that will grow, that the two of you can grow together. They're looking at long term, and maybe that is a huge green flag that goes, wow, like I don't think like that with everyone. This is clearly a future spouse. So it feels like this person thinks like this before the two of you even get into a relationship officially. I would say group 2 that this is going to happen after you've kind of been around each other for a while, but it doesn't feel like for a lot of you, you'll be in a formal situation. Like you won't be in a relationship. You'll still be acquaintances or kind of casually seeing each other or getting to know each other slowly when they realize like, wow, this could be the one. We have the stone now. So I feel like this is just a slow mover, or in this situation, things are slow moving. But I also see the stone as reliability, security, foundations, being a rock. So maybe this person feels like they have to do some catching up. But I also feel like for one of you or both of you, you've been waiting a long time for the other one to find someone who you could build stability with and have excitement with and fall in love with. It feels like it's ticking boxes on both ends. So let's have a look at what they'll like about you initially in the beginning. What will group 2's future spouse like about them in the beginning of the connection? What will group 2's future spouse like about them in the beginning? We'll have the Tower coming out first. We'll have, like I'm ordering it, we'll have the Tower first. We have the Tower coming out first. Oh my gosh. We also have the 8 of Swords coming out reversed. What will group 2... We have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Clarify the Tower, Spirit. What will group 2's future spouse like initially with the Tower? We have Justice reversed. Okay. What will they like initially with the 8 of Swords? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. I'm hearing that song, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Wow. Clarifying the 4 of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Wands. And at the back of the deck, we have the 9 of Wands reversed. So in the beginning, when you're still getting to know each other or you're just kind of getting this off the ground, what they'll like most about you with the 9 of Wands reversed is you are someone who isn't too, like, I don't know if it's because of the circumstances, but this person may have made the situation out to be something that it's not in their head. For better or for worse, there's a lot of time on their end spent thinking about you and overthinking and just romanticizing and longing and wishing and hoping. With the 9 of Wands reversed, it's clear that it doesn't have to be that hard. I think that what they'll like initially with the 9 of Wands reversed is there is a feeling of differences here, but there's also a feeling of like doing things in a way where it doesn't have to be this hard. Like it doesn't have to be a huge hurdle. It doesn't have to be a huge challenge. It shouldn't have to be so difficult. And I don't know if this person in the beginning, before they even approach you, they just assume it's going to be difficult. But once you guys actually start to get to know each other and spend time together, I feel like it's going to be pretty easy. And I see the two of you opening up to each other pretty easily. I feel like you're going to let your guards down with each other and be very open and vulnerable, for lack of a better word. Now, this feels more energetic. This person seeing you as the queen may think that you're someone who's very fiercely protective or just like even aloof. And maybe you come across as someone who doesn't interact and engage with the average person. Like maybe they assume they have to be regal in order to approach you, which will be interesting to see how you see them in the extended, because you may also see them as this king, but that's not how they're seeing themselves. And I see that it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. You're very easygoing. That's what they like about you with the 9 of Wands reverse. You're very easygoing and your energy is very mutable. Like I feel like while, especially in the beginning, you make this person feel comfortable, maybe because you're sensing that they're anxious or you come across as being relatable. Even if you're anxious as well, there's this feeling of like reciprocity, and it's not as hard as it needs to be. It doesn't have to be as hard as that. Now, With the Tower here and Justice reversed, I think what they'll like in the beginning is that you do have differences. I feel like the two of you will have very interesting conversations. I could even see like disagreements here, but I feel like this person just wants to get in your head and know you, especially if they are a King of Swords. They don't always have to be right. They just want to know everything. A King of Swords just wants to know all the information, and then they make their own decisions, but they are still like, at least a good King of Swords, still likes to be somewhat receptive to the other argument and to the other opinion. And so that's what I'm seeing here is you are different and you think differently or you act differently to what they're used to. I also think with the Tower that they have very unexpectedly obsessed with you. Like their energy is just very attached to you from the beginning. And the Tower could indicate that this was a very quick feeling or a very quick realization, or that the energy just changed very quickly between the two of you after this instance, after your first date or after your first meeting. Maybe you were around each other for years, and then as soon as one person approached the other in such a way, romantic feelings came on very quickly. Whatever it was, there was sudden and fast change at the beginning of the two of you meeting. And this really caused like a catalyst feeling of, wow, like things can never be the same. And it made everybody else feel like the gray world compared to you and all this color. Like that's what it feels like. This person, for some of you, may have even tried to deny those feelings and maintain other connections, especially if you were casual in the beginning. But I just feel like it's not the same. Now with the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles here, I feel like your future spouse, what they'll like initially is the fact that you do like to talk about the things that are on your mind. So it's coming across as you being very communicative. This person values communication. They want to know what's going on, and they want to make sure that if there are any issues or if someone is feeling lousy or kind of trapped in their head about things or just overthinking things in general, they want a relationship in which the two of you feel safe enough to talk about that. And I see that in the beginning, this person may have some of those thoughts, and you have a beautiful way of kind of helping them get out of their head and reminding them what is reality and prompting this person to take things more realistically. Either this person is very internal in the sense of they get very attached to their internal world, or they just are very negative and pessimistic at times, and they assume that the worst case scenario is always going to happen. I see with the Ace of Pentacles, you feel like a wish come true that they didn't even know they deserved. This person may have self-deprecating feelings and thoughts at times, and you make this person want to be better so that they deserve you, if that makes sense. With the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Wands upright, I feel like they do have to fight and have the courage to approach you, but I think that what they like about you is the energy that they put in is very quickly, it very quickly pays off. It feels like this person may have had to have like an act of courage in order to take things to the next level with you. And in the beginning, it does feel like you do your best to remain receptive and to be open and to be approachable and to be encouraging. I just feel like this person may have made things out to be more complicated than necessary. I also see with the Four of Pentacles reversed that it's not as difficult as they thought it was logistically. Maybe they assumed you held different lifestyles or you have different responsibilities. And then once they get to know you, they realize that you overcome challenges so easily together. I feel like you are a really good team because you are different in certain ways as well with Justice reversed. So let us have a look now at what they will love most about you as your relationship deepens. Oops. What will Group 2's future spouse love most about them as their relationship deepens? What will Group 2's future spouse love most about them as their relationship deepens? Okay, we have the Nine of Swords coming out in in the upright position. Bang, bang. Just made a little bit of a myth. Can we get 2 more cards, please, Spirit? What will Group 2's future spouse love most about them? Thank you, Spirit. We have the King of Pentacles And we have the Two of Swords. So a very practical, logical energy. I feel like they really like, especially if you have this energy, you don't have to be an earth or air sign, but they are looking at you like, dang, this person just has a strong head on their shoulders. They're so grounded. I love the way they think. They're very logical. They're very forward thinking, but it's practical. Maybe they struggle with the little stuff and it feels like you really help each other with that. What is going on with this Nine of Swords? What does Group 2's future spouse love most about them? We have the Five of Cups. Anyway, sorry. Sorry. I'll get there. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles, please. I'm getting ahead of myself and trying to talk about things that haven't happened yet. So let me get all the cards out first. Clarify the Two of Swords, please. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, the Star card reversed. At the back of the deck is the Three of Pentacles, that shared community, that shared environment, again, coming out. Okay, the camera just stopped recording, but thankfully you didn't miss much. I've just got one more deck that I want to shuffle out to get more messages about what they love most about you, Group 2. What will their future spouse love most? Ooh, I'm open to real connections. Preach. What will Group 2's future spouse love most? Yes. Yes. I'm facing my fears. And one more card. What will they love most? What will... Hi. We have, I love thinking of you and I'm distracting myself right now. So I feel like both sides of this card, because it came out like that and then it flipped to that, both sides of that card are applicable. And at the back of the deck, we have new chapter. So I think that it's like, I just want to talk about something first before I get into all of that, because I got ahead of myself. But I need to say it before I forget. Group 2, it feels like there are two key personalities in this relationship. And I don't mean to pigeonhole you or them, because we're very multifaceted human beings and many different aspects of our personalities emerge throughout time. So, and throughout your lifetime, depending on situations, relationships, and just generally what you experience and what traits you need to draw on in order to go through those experiences. But I feel like in this relationship, there is one person who is very dreamy, and there is one person who is very grounded and earthy. And you may at times exhibit both qualities, but I feel like you're able to balance each other out in that way. This person feels very internal at times, and I think they seek stability. They seek opportunities that can bring out their more sort of structured and grounded, logical part of themselves, whereas you may resonate as being very grounded and wanting to seek more dreamy sort of almost, what's the word, romantic energies. And I'm not talking about romance in terms of relationships. I'm talking about romance in terms of sensuality and experiences. And sometimes romance is a mindset of just falling in love with an experience or a situation and making it feel more personal instead of just going through the practical experience of what it entails. I feel like you both feed into each other's rich inner world and you both promote a rich outer world as well. So what they'll love most about you as the relationship deepens is that you do have this ability to ground each other. You make them want something very deep and meaningful with I'm open to real connections. You make this person want a new chapter from the beginning with this Ace of Pentacles. You help this person work through any of their karmic cycles by helping them face their fears, and you promote healthy versions of this person in the sense of I feel like your presence, there's a strong feeling of being more self-aware because of you, but not in an unhealthy way. You know how sometimes that self-awareness can come across as self-deprecation, to the point where our self-image is very unhealthy and it's not exactly helpful. It's to the point where we're very hyper-fixated on our less redeeming qualities, or things that we are self-conscious about become very magnified internally. I feel like this is helpful. I feel like this is more about working through behaviors, working through past experiences in order to remain open for new chapters in the future. With this, I love thinking of you. I feel like you are a distraction to this person, but I think what they love most about you is that there is a strong feeling of balance in this relationship, of kind of escaping the world together while also progressing in the world together. And it's like a beautiful balance of the two. You guys may have many experiences throughout your relationship where you just disconnect from the world and just escape and go on a little day trip together, or even like a weekend getaway together, and you don't even tell people where you're going, or you don't want to kind of make this a big deal on social media, and then maybe 2 weeks later you release photos and everybody's like, what, when did you do that? There's a strong feeling of being in your own little bubble at times with each other, and that's what they love most about you and about this connection. But a lot of what you do for this person has to do with how they feel and how they think. With the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Cups reversed, you help this person realize that their fears are sometimes not real, and that their fears can actually be helpful. You help this person overcome grief at times, loss, difficult feelings that they may have struggled with in the past. You help this person feel more optimistic. And I feel like you help this person gain hindsight and perspective. It's very likely that you two will open up to each other and have conversations that this person has never been able to have with other people. I feel like you will be having very deep conversations with them throughout your relationship. This is a very expressive, communicative connection in which you really delve into each other's wounds, and this person is very grateful. What they love most about you is that you have this ability of putting things into perspective in a helpful way with the 5 of Cups reversed, so that that grief, that sense of loss, or that disappointment isn't prolonged. With the 9 of Swords, it's about gaining perspective and really having that epiphany moment, that hindsight moment of, geez, that was a really difficult time or difficult experience, but this is what I gained from it, or this is how I can grow from it. With the King of Pentacles and the World card reversed, there is this strong feeling of needing to kind of almost be more aware of how they may be self-sabotaging at times, only because with the World card reversed, it's a strong feeling of karma and needing to tie up loose ends and not just kind of jumping from one thing to the other, or not just kind of doing this and then doing that, or distracting yourself with this and throwing yourself into that. It's a strong feeling of needing to follow a process, or doing something until completion. And I think that what they'll love most about you is, as distracted as you guys may be with each other, I also feel like you don't sweat the small stuff, or you find ways of just kind of staying, what's the word? You find ways of staying connected to the overall outcome. I even could see this group as a group that elopes, for example. Like, the wedding isn't a big deal, the relationship is. That type of energy, you know? Just as an example, because I think that some of you have really dreamt about a beautiful big wedding. But I just think that when it comes to issues in life, there's a strong feeling of you helping them get through challenges by reminding them of what's important. With the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles can be very materially motivated. They can get very lost in their achievements and lost in their sense of gratification from material acquisition. And sometimes it's all about sort of career climbing, you know, climbing up that corporate ladder, or really growing that bank account and those investments, rather than, what is this all for? Why do we need all this money? Why do we need all this financial gain and wealth? So it's a strong feeling of maybe you help each other realize your full potential, but there's also this feeling of doing it for a reason. Otherwise, why are we doing it at all? Like, why go through all this stress? Why go through all this struggle? Is it even worth it? And so I wouldn't be surprised if your values change or if your motivations, your goals, and your long-term ambitions change because of this person, and vice versa. We have the Two of Swords with the Star card reversed. To be honest with you, I think that one thing they'll love a lot about you, group 2, is the way that you do balance each other out. I feel like there isn't a lot of pressure here when it comes to going through the difficult things, the difficult feelings, the difficult thoughts. I think that this person may struggle with their mental health, or you may struggle with your mental health, maybe both of you. There's a strong feeling of a lot of understanding, a lot of love, a lot of compassion, and a lot of patience for each other when you're having your down moments. I don't even mean like your off days. This feels like episodes of like weeks, months even. And I think with the Star card reversed, there's a strong feeling of giving each other time and space to find that healing and to understand where it comes from in your past and where it stems from in your past, and to go on your little healing journey as an individual. I do think that you're both very helpful to each other, but what this person loves most is the uniqueness that you bring. I feel like there are certain issues that they wouldn't have addressed had they not met you. There's certain perspectives they wouldn't have had they not met you. There's just this feeling of you opening their eyes to what the world really is. And I do think that the more they get to know you, the more they realize you're kind of as flawed and unique and kind of fucked up like them, in the sense of you're not at all as sort of wrapped together this perfect image that they had in the beginning. But that's what they love most about you, is that you are real, and they've always wanted someone like that, someone who presents well. Like with the King of Pentacles, you might come out looking like a model when you want to, you know, flawless. But there's so much depth to you, and there's a lot going on under the surface. And I think that one thing they really love most is when you invite them into your inner world, and how you are patient with letting them let you into their inner world as well. So let's get some closing advice before I take this into the extended. What may be helpful for group 2? What advice may be helpful for them in either finding this relationship or growing in this relationship if they already have found this person? Okay. Let's have a look at these affirmations, shall we? I am connected to all life. I am spirit, light, energy, vibration, color, and love. I am connected with every person on the planet and with all of life. I am pure spirit. I recognize the true beauty of my being. I am the spirit of love shining brightly. Interesting. I am worth loving. A powerful affirmation is to stand with arms wide open and say, I am willing to let the love in. It is safe to let the love in. I am at the center of peace. In peace, I live and move and experience life because I keep myself centered in inner peace. I have peace in my outer world as well. So there is this strong feeling of attracting each other into your lives, potentially manifesting each other, to be honest with you. I feel like all this energy is about grounding yourself, recognizing how beautiful you are and how worthy of love you are, and reminding yourself that you are connected to other people. This is especially for those who resonate as having bitterness or resentment in love. I feel like before this person can really come into your life, that you have to feel receptive, connected, and ready to share your life with somebody else. I'm connected to all life could indicate you being in more of a public space when you meet this person, being more kind of open to letting people into your life again. For some of you, you'll go through a period in which it's very difficult for someone to get close to you because you're very careful and cautious and guarded. I feel like that guard is open when this person comes in, not to the point where you're being naive and too sort of open. It just feels like you're very receptive. And these affirmations are about getting you into a space where you feel worthy of love. You feel aware of what you deserve. You're not kind of looking at this person and going, they're too good for me. And you also have this beautiful connection to what it is that you need. And I feel like this stems from this peace card. because I keep myself centered in inner peace, I have peace in my outer world, trying to create stability and staying grounded in situations so that the two of you can come together. They feel very cautious, just like you in the beginning. And they kind of need to feel secure in order to really take this to the next level, because they feel like they have, well, you have a lot to lose. So maybe they feel like they only have one shot in approaching you, and that could be what really delays this. They want to make sure that that one shot is taken very carefully. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group 2. I'm going to take this into your extended now, where we'll have a look at how you will recognize your future spouse. We'll also have a look at what you'll like about them initially, and then what you'll love most about them as the relationship progresses. I don't know if I'll get any more advice. We'll just see how we go, but that is what we'll be covering in the extended. The link to the extended reading is in the description box. All current extended readings are on my website. And if you're someone who likes to watch extended readings, I recommend that you become an Amethyst Hermie member. That membership will grant you unlimited access to all the extended readings on my website. That includes the readings on my website though, so that doesn't include moments readings. That's on a completely different website, and those ones haven't been able to progress, or what's the word for it, transfer over. So I do recommend you have a look at that if you're into extended readings, just because it can be a much more cost-efficient way of doing things, but it's up to you. I just want to thank you for all your time, your energy, group 2. I appreciate all of your support. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you wrote down what resonates. Remember, do not let the rest take from you. Leave it for somebody else, as it is a general reading, and I wish to connect with you in another video. Until then, look after yourself, and thank you so much again for all of your support. Bye. Group 3, and welcome to your reading. Now, today's reading is going to be pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I'm doing your group first in terms of filming. Don't usually do that, but I got a strong download to do group 3 first. So let's get into it. We're asking Spirit, how will your future spouse recognize you? This is my little list of things so I don't forget what we're doing. A lot to cover, in the sense of it's not a heck of a lot of topics, but it's a lot of information. So before we get into it, make sure you have something to drink, something to eat, and something to write with. This is a general reading, so I strongly encourage you take note of what resonates, and it kind of helps to dissect what doesn't, if that makes sense. So if anything isn't really resonating for you in your individual situation, then I really recommend that you take note of what does, so that after the reading you can kind of come back and have a look at what has been helpful. So let's have a look at how your future spouse will recognize you. I'm going to start with my tissue box messages. I do sell these on my website. I encourage you to have a look in the description box if you think this is something you may find helpful for yourself. It's a very basic form of divination. So Spirit, how will group 3's future spouse recognize them? How will group 3's future spouse recognize them? Okay, let's see what we got in the tissue box today. We have Aquarius coming out first. Interesting. We also have the letter N. We have the letter T. So these initials could be yours or theirs. But I'm going to show you everything and then I'll let you know what I'm feeling. We have that would hurt. Interesting. We also have gratitude. Wow, strong download with that. We have P. We also have the 3rd house. Interesting. 3rd house of communication, community, and siblings. We also have March. I am grateful for my soulmate, if it will focus. We have another initial, the letter H. We've got a few initials here, another N. So this person could have 2 letters in their name, like repeat letters, or you could. We have C. We also have an M or a W. Take it as it resonates. I'm pretty sure that's an M though. We also have a G. Which wanted to come out first? I heard gotta go. Wow. Okay. We have a W or another M. Take that as it resonates. So 2 M's, 2 N's. And we also have another G. So 2 G's. Okay. The last tissue box message is the 8th house, death, beginnings and endings, as well as sex. There's a lot going on in the 8th house, to be honest with you, but this is all I wrote on my tissue box messages. So let's get into it. My downloads are pretty insane for you, group 3. I feel like this person is going to be very attracted to your state of mind. It doesn't feel perfect. In fact, when you first meet, you give this energy of someone who is going through something, someone who is going through a transformation, who has experienced a significant event, maybe even a death for some of you, and it's pretty tumultuous. You could be really down and out, and you may at one point express some really strong feelings about the situation to this person, or this person hears you talking in a certain way. But by the end of this interaction with them, they're going to see you as someone who, despite whatever pain you're going through, despite whatever change you're going through, you still are able to express gratitude and be a decent human being. And I feel like this person is strangely attracted to your resilience in that moment and your ability to just kind of not make it all about you and just push through the situation. This person is very attracted to the way that you handle that kind of situation, whether it's a stressful situation, a painful situation, or a bit of the two. This person really sees you at first as someone who is somewhat vulnerable or weak. And then right in front of their eyes in that first major interaction, they see you take on this strength and this incredible vulnerability by choosing not to give up. And I feel like there's a moment where they have to kind of let you go, because I'm heard gotta go. So I feel like this person watches you leave and is literally thinking about you for the rest of the night. I think you're going to meet in a setting where there are a lot of people involved. It's like either a shared community or it's a public situation, or you may even meet online in like a group forum or something. But I heard I gotta go, and they stay, but they don't stop thinking about you as soon as like you've met, basically, or as soon as they have the privilege of seeing you. I'm also seeing that this person is very attracted to the way that you express connection, and it feels very unique, and it feels a little bit kind of martyristic at times. Like you kind of have this fierceness about you that isn't exactly, you're a little rough around the edges is what I would describe. You're not the kind of doter. You're not someone who comes across as overly nurturing, but you have this kind of tough love vibe to you that they get to witness. And I think that they recognize that this is something that they are either interested in or that they really like about you from the beginning. I see that this person is looking for someone like you. And so they're going to recognize these qualities within you, and you're literally going to be ticking boxes in front of their eyes. With Aquarius here, this person may have a very unique attraction. Like they may be attracted to like a very unique kind of person, or someone who is usually very different to what like mainstream society finds attractive. But I just feel like you are this person's favorite type of weirdo. That's what it feels like. You guys may resonate as being like starseeds, or have this sort of longing feeling like you're a bit of the black sheep in your family, or the black sheep of your friend group. Like you struggle to kind of associate with people, where it takes a lot for you to feel connected. Some of you may just genuinely keep yourself a little bit separated from other people because you are healers or you are empathetic beings, and you found that it's easier to spend a lot of time alone. That way you can be more in control of your energy. But I just feel like you're exactly this person's type. And I can't help but feel like they spend a lot of time observing you and getting to know you. With the 8th house here, it's kind of obvious that this person is very attracted to you from the moment they see you, but you also have this air of mystery about you. So I feel like what your future spouse will recognize in terms of what makes you stand out to them is the fact that you don't give everything away about yourself instantly. Despite the two of you clearly having a very good conversation in the beginning with the third house, I feel like communication with each other is very easy. It flows. You guys may have a lot to talk about, or there may be other people around to kind of buffer, but I feel like you share something like a community or something that makes it easy to conversate about. I still feel no, take your jacket over here. Good boy. Over here. Good boy. It's a sausage dog. I still feel like you leave enough mystery to make them want to know more. Like they feel like they don't get the whole picture straight away. And then when they do get to know you, they realize that you're really deep and complex. I feel like you have been through a lot, and I think that you kind of do like to keep people at a distance, group 3. And I feel like you have these expressions of gratitude, but I also think that you are a realist with Aquarius, and that would hurt. Like, I feel like you aren't afraid to say it for what it is or call for something for what it is. Like, you don't have this overly optimistic and positive view of the world, and they can see that. And I feel like that's what kind of piques their interest the most about you. They want to kind of figure out who you are and what you have to offer. And I was getting other downloads with all of these letters too. I was hearing touch. So I feel like the first time that this person touches you, they're going to know, like there's something different about this person. I was also hearing pick me. So it feels like this person is going to kind of have this real strong pull towards you in the beginning, and it's going to make them question like who else is in the picture, what else do they have to overcome in terms of any other people you're seeing. Are you even interested in them? I almost get a bit of a fangirling energy from this person, like a little bit of like I'm kind of low-key obsessed vibe, especially with the Scorpio energy. This feeling of this person doing their research and just spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to win you over, or how to kind of get you to really see them. For some of you, this person is going to put a lot of effort into your first date to make sure that they have you from that moment. I also heard hit me up. So I almost feel like there may be an iffy period in which the two of you may kind of leave things up in the air for whatever reason. It's not because of a major challenge or anything, but it feels like you may lose touch a little bit. Like maybe it takes a while for you to connect after your first meeting. And I'm hearing that the ball is in their court. So it feels like this person may even, for some of you, give you their information, and they're like, hit me up when you're free, or if you want to talk about this more, if you want to have a coffee or whatever it is. It feels like they kind of leave the ball in your court. But I also just feel like in that time, this person still is thinking about you a lot and spending a lot of time wanting to get to know you better. So let's keep moving forward. I'm just going to close these curtains because the glare is insane. There, that's a bit better. A little bit better. Okay, so that's how they will recognize you. I just want to pull some oracle cards to see if there's anything else I've missed. Is there anything else you need to tell group 3 about how their future spouse will recognize them? Is there anything else you can tell group 3 about how their future spouse will recognize them? Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, sorry, group 3. We were cut off because my camera stopped recording. But as I was saying, all I did was close the curtains basically because the glare was being crazy. And then I pulled some cards from this oracle deck to confirm how your future spouse will recognize you. And what I was trying to say before the camera stopped recording was that you guys definitely meet in a situation in which there are other people around. The bottom deck energy gives this village energy. So it's this feeling of being protected or supported by other people. Your person will recognize you because there is this feeling of you being very giving, but you don't do it in a way where it's enabling. Like I don't see you being like a mother hen even. I don't see you being very like doting. I see it like being very functional and practical and supportive for like a a reason, you know, like if somebody needs that help, they receive it. But if they can do it themselves, I feel like you don't go out of your way. But it does feel like you'll meet in like a shared environment. We also have the cave coming out for you. We have the castle. We have the vision. We have the tear. We have the mentor. And we have the shaman. So this person sees you as someone that is very giving and caring and kind. Some of you are light workers. You heal and you help people through some sort of intuitive or energetic gift. And I feel like this person just sees you as someone who is very supportive. Like you offer a guidance to others. This person feels like they have been looking for you for a while, and they may have sought similar people out before, like their exes or people who they were interested in the past may bear some resemblance to you, either in a physical or just in like a personality way, because I almost feel like this person is attracted to a specific type of person, and that's kind of what you are. I feel like you are still very different to what like with Aquarius here, there's something quirky and unique and maybe even a little bit oddball and weird about you in the best of ways. But I'm seeing that this person imagined you and they kind of like manifested you, or they imagined a future with somebody like you. I also feel like this person may have even gotten a tarot reading about you for some of you. Like they may have reached out to someone like a shaman or some spiritual mentor to get advice about their love life, and then you came in within the time frame of that advice. So it's crazy. But for others of you, I feel like they'll recognize you because there's this feeling of them being able to see you so clearly. Like I feel like this is someone with all these eyes. This is someone who you may have also been looking for. Maybe you felt like you were struggling to connect with the right people and you felt like nobody was really seeing you for who you truly are. And maybe it was really difficult for you to find someone who would genuinely kind of get to know you for all the right reasons. I feel like this person has such a deep connection to you from the beginning. They have this way of looking at you and seeing you for who you are. With the cave here, there is also this feeling of this person putting in the work where it matters. Like I feel like they don't just jump straight to the early stages of infatuation and physical attraction. Like as much as there is physical chemistry, I feel like with the cave, this person is going to see the uglier sides of your personality, right? The sides that you don't want to show to the people you're really interested in. And yet this person sees that and it makes them realize like, this is my person. It feels like parts that you would feel ashamed or embarrassed about, this person wholeheartedly embraces. And I don't mean to over romanticize them. It's like they would tell you themselves, like, I fell in love with you the day I saw you ugly cry in front of me because you didn't get the burger that you wanted after a hard week and we were in the line at McDonald's. Like that is literally what they will say. With the castle here, it does feel like you have a physical quality that this person is attracted to. They actually see you as someone that's very graceful and you have beauty about you. For some of you, it's your feminine beauty, but I don't think that a lot of you would identify as being feminine. I feel like you feel almost with Aquarius here, maybe a bit androgynous. Maybe you rock like the boyish look and the feminine look. Maybe you have your more masculine side that you're proud about and your more feminine side that you're proud about. But they just think that you are very physically attractive. And there is also this feeling of you just exuding this energy with grace, like the way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself. I'm hearing the way that you demand and command attention. They'll recognize it's you because they'll find it very hard not to look at you, group 3. And all of this over here is what I was saying before, except the tear. The tear is different because there is a strong feeling of this person either seeing you cry, seeing you go through something painful, seeing you literally like at your wit's end, and then you deciding, nah, that's it. Like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep going. And that's literally the moment where this person falls for you. They're going to see you in a situation in which you have no reason to believe that things are going to get better. And yet you change your mindset. In that moment, you talk yourself out of it and you convince yourself that this is going to lead to better days and that this is going to be something that you are going to turn into a positive. And I feel like this person is just so in awe of how much you go through and of how much you overcome. And they literally see you transform in front of their eyes is what it feels like. For some of you, this is more of a physical transformation, but I feel like it is painful in some way. Like emotions are tied to it in some way. So let's keep going forward. Let's have a look at what they'll like about you in their early days. What will like attract them towards you in the first place. I feel like we did get a bit of that already, but we'll delve deeper. What is going to attract Group 3's future spouse towards them initially? What will Group 3's future spouse find attractive? We have the Hermit reversed. We also have the Nine of Cups reversed. I'm hearing, I just say it how it is. Like, I just say it how it is. I feel like some of you will think that you looked like a swamp monster when you first met this person. You'll be like, I literally had no reason to pull, and yet I feel like I did. The Three of Wands. Clarify the Hermit card reverse, please, Spirit. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, this deck is a bit dark and so is this room, so I apologize. I'll do my best to show you the cards. Clarify the Nine of Cups. We have the Four of Swords reversed with a beautiful sloth baby. Clarify the Three of Wands, please. We have the Moon card reversed, and at the back of the deck is the Knight of Cups reversed. So what they'll like about you in the early days. With the Knight of Cups reversed, you give this no bullshit feeling. Like you give this feeling of like, I don't need your chivalry. I don't need to be rescued. Like, I just need you to come correct. And there is a strong feeling of you actually blocking romantic partners, actually like giving out this strong energy of like, I'm not looking for love with the Knight of Cups reversed. And I think that they are firstly going to be very attracted to the fact that you may have some heavy boundaries. This person may just like the chase initially, but I think they're also just really curious about you, and they're wondering, like, are they putting up barriers because they already have someone, or are they just, I'm hearing, are they just wounded? So this person isn't afraid of pain and trauma in the sense of like, they know that there are probably reasons why it's hard for people to get close to you if that's the case. We have the Hermit card reversed and the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like what they'll like initially is the fact that you do kind of strike them as a little bit of a loner or someone who is selectively alone, but you also seem to be someone who a lot of people want to be close with. And you come across as like a protector and a provider, someone who really takes care of their own, like their family. I feel like this person believes that you are someone that's very protective or protected, maybe a bit of both for this group 3. But I see that this person believes you've worked really hard to get to where you are today. They're going to be very attracted to your mind, and I feel like you either don't talk enough or what you say is just the tip of the iceberg for this person. Your first conversation around them, because it doesn't feel like it's necessarily to them, it's like they just kind of hear you talking in a group. That first conversation is going to really resonate with them. They're going to feel very connected to you, either from the way that you talk or it's specifically what you say. They're very attracted to your intellect, to your wisdom, to your experience. And it's like they know after first sort of getting to know you, they know that there's a lot more to you, group 3. Especially with the Ten of Pentacles, they feel like you have the same values as them. And from the beginning, there's this kindred feeling of we may have the same goals and we probably want the same thing. Now, with the Nine of Cups and the Four of Swords, both reversed, I feel like what they'll like about you initially is the fact that you are a realist. There's something about you being brutally honest about something that isn't right, whether it's because it's making you feel sad or whether it's because it's not going to make other people feel happy to hear. You know, it's either because what you have to say is not what people are used to hearing. Maybe people are used to hearing pleasantries. Like someone may say to you, "Hi, group 3, how are you?" And you could turn around and be like, "Actually, I've had a really shit day. Like I didn't think I was even going to get out of bed today. It's crazy. I'm here and I brought cake, but I'm really sad." And maybe this person's like, "Wow, what the heck? Who even is that honest?" With the Four of Swords reversed, it has a lot to do with saying what's on your mind and not being afraid of how people will react. And it has a lot to do with just being honest about what you're going through and to be honest about when you're not doing okay. And I think that that's what they'll like about you initially, is the fact that you speak honestly. You don't pretend or hide the truth, or you don't just say what people want to hear. However extreme it is, you're honest with them. I feel like this person may even test you in the beginning, group 3. They may try to say something to see if you are just trying to prove a point or whether you are an actually honest person. And I feel like you pass the test time and time again, because regardless of what the questions are about or what the conversation is about, you come through as someone who will always speak the truth. Now, with the Three of Wands reversed and the Moon, Three of Wands upright, Moon reversed, I do think that this person is very attracted to the mystery around you in the beginning. There's a strong feeling of slowly getting to know you. Like you don't reveal everything at once to them. Even if you guys end up having a huge, deep and meaningful that night, there's still so many questions that this person has in the beginning. And there's a strong feeling of needing to wait in order to get to see the real you, and needing to wait in order to kind of peel back those layers and get a better view of who you really are. There's also this strong feeling of like trying to really put in effort in order to get this moving forward. And I feel like maybe you hold back emotionally, and this person has to put in quite a lot of effort to kind of get you to open up, but they are rewarded along the way. Like once they have your trust, I feel like you really make it obvious that it isn't about them. It's more about you, where you're coming from and what you've been through. And it's not like you're trying to manipulate them by not being so open. It's literally feels like you're just very careful about who you share yourself with. And they realize that from the beginning. So let's have a look at what they'll love most about you by the end. And I'm going to pull from 2 decks for this. So we'll start with tarot, and then I'll pull some other cards from a second deck as well. What will group 3's future spouse love most about group 3? What will they love most as the relationship progresses? What will group 3's future spouse love most? Okay, oh my days. Look what just popped out, the Empress. Yeah, she is. She's here. What will group 3's future spouse love most about group 3? We have the Four of Cups. I don't think that's supposed to be upright or reversed. But we also have the Devil card as well. So you got strong earth energy, y'all. Let's clarify this Empress. Oh, hi. Another major arcana card. We have Aquarius energy with the Fool. More Aquarius energy. We also had Pisces, Aries, Virgo, Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn. Page of Swords coming out to clarify the Four of Cups. Can we clarify the Devil card, please, Spirit? Oh, okay. We have the Chariot clarifying the Devil card, but another Cancer card came out as well, and that was the Moon card with the Seven of Swords. So as time goes on, it's very clear to me that what your partner is going to love most about you is your honesty. The fact that you keep it real. You call people out when they're being shady. You're honest about when something makes you upset. And you're very clear. If you need time to process your feelings and know how you're feeling, you communicate that. And I think this is something that this relationship may test you to do or challenge you to do. I feel like initially, look, I just cut the deck and we have the Moon. I feel like maybe before you met this person, you weren't really good at asking for space in a relationship. But I think that your relationship with them is going to encourage you to be more expressive about your emotional needs. So what else is their future spouse going to love about them most? We have pleasure. Yeah, that's obvious with the double card and Scorpio. What else? It would be awkward if it came out and said pain. I'd be like, oh my God, group 3. Thank God it was pleasure. What else? Not saying there's anything wrong with pain as long as it's consensual. But, and it's a big but, this isn't that kind of reading. We have, I love thinking of you. What else are they going to love most? One more card. I need space. Yeah, they love when you tell them I need space because they know that it's not them. They know that for some reason you're just somebody who you may find yourself in situations where energy and emotions are very overwhelming. And if you need space, they're like, I would rather just give you space instead of you saying you don't need space and then it becomes an issue in our relationship. We have dependable at the back of the deck. So let's start with these cards, shall we? It's clear that this person is going to love how giving and caring you are. And remember in the beginning, I was like, you're not a nurturer, you're not a mother. And then we have the Empress come out. So this relationship is going to develop into one that offers a lot of growth. And this person is not going to be ashamed to say, my life has positively changed since group 3 came in. They feel like you have the Midas touch with this Empress and dependable energy. And it's because of you that they experience a lot more success in their life. This relationship is definitely something that pushes them to take risks, and they love seeing that behavior within you. They love that you are dependable. They love that you communicate when you need space. They love that you are still somewhat independent. You strike me as someone that either has Aquarius placements or maybe you have this hyper independence at times where you just like to be kind of alone or you need time to yourself. You recognize when you need time to yourself. But they like when you communicate your needs for sure. This person is also someone who appreciates small gestures. They don't need the super grand gestures all the time. They actually appreciate more when you just give them little hints and little reminders that you're thinking of them. Because this person feels like they think about you a lot. Like, this is your future spouse for a reason. I think what really made them go, that's the one, was when they couldn't stop thinking about you. And so they love to see signs that they're memorable as well in your mind. So little things like I'm seeing like little texts or little pictures that you may send them of things that remind you of them, especially in the beginning, but even throughout the relationship. If you see something that is associated with this person's specific or peculiar interests and you send it to them, I feel like it just really lights them up and they're like, yes, that is definitely me. I'm even seeing like you tagging each other in Facebook posts and it's like y'all are in the same house and you've been married for 4 years and you're still just tagging each other from the other room like this is you. And they love that. They love knowing that you know them so well and that they're still a strong part of your life even when they're not there all the time, because they feel like they have to constantly give you space. This feels like someone who may be very attached to you from the beginning and they don't want to lose you, so they learn to just have these boundaries with you. But I feel like the two of you are very like intertwined. There is a strong feeling of them just enjoying your company in every possible way. But I feel like what they'll love most about you is how the chemistry, the passion stays alive as time progresses between the two of you. This person is very physically attracted to you. I've already said that, but the time doesn't change that with them. As your relationship prolongs or progresses, should I say, prolongs makes it sound like a negative thing. As your relationship progresses, I feel like the attraction ebbs and flows because it can't always be turned on like a wildfire. But it doesn't go away. It may be like less demanding at times when, you know, life gets more demanding or responsibilities get more demanding. Some of y'all are going to have kids with this person and that's going to make things more demanding. But I just feel like the passion is always there. The attraction is always there. And I would even argue that this person may be the kind of person that waits for you to initiate things. But they love it when they feel like you're acknowledging and seeing them in the way that they so vividly see you. I'm hearing that this person sees your full rainbow, and maybe your previous partners only saw some of the colors. They only saw the green side of you, or the blue side that loves to be out in nature, or the red side that needs time out and time alone, or the pink side that loves gaming and loves to kind of be in the online virtual world. Whereas this person sees everything. They see the whole rainbow with you. Now, I do believe that some of y'all are going to have kids with this person, with the Empress and the Fool, and this person is going to love the way that you parent. They're very, very, very invested in being a parent with you. If this is the situation in which you both have kids together, whether this is a blended family for some of you, it feels like most of you are going to have a child to this person though. They just love seeing you blossom into that role, because it feels like you still maintain your uniqueness and you have such a beautiful way of educating and helping, I'm hearing assisting these young minds to grow with your unique point of view on the world. There's a strong humanitarian energy about this group with this Aquarius energy, this strong feeling of like helping. And I think that that side of you really comes out in parenthood. But for those who don't resonate with having children, I feel like this Empress and the Fool card is you growing and growing and growing and encouraging this person to grow. And the two of you seeing growth in each other as well as in your relationship through ways that allegedly you have the Midas touch. There's a strong feeling of fertility about you to this person, and the fact that what you touch turns to gold. I see you taking risks to get to be so successful, and they really admire your kind of go-getter energy. The fact that you can still maintain gratitude and optimism despite everything that you've been through. This person sees you being kind of skeptical as well, especially with the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords. You're highly curious, but very skeptical as well. So you may be someone that loves to do research on odd things, or you like to go down little rabbit holes. This person sees you as someone that has a very youthful mind, a very active mind. Maybe you're very dynamic in your way of thinking, or you're very innovative and you like coming up with new ideas and new solutions. They see you as like a researcher, a curious young mind. But with the Four of Cups, your emotional being is still very protective. And I feel like this person initially, maybe they have concerns about other people stealing you from them. But as the relationship progresses, there's this strong feeling of them being sure of fidelity, and the fact that the two of you are exclusive, and the fact that despite you having this sort of youthful curiosity emotionally, they know that the two of you are content and happy together. I also see the Four of Cups as you just being very kind of careful, and there's a strong feeling of no new friends. So I see this person kind of seeing you as a very loyal person, and it takes time, but they love the fact that it is hard. Like when they're on the inside, they love the fact that it's hard for you to let your guard down for everybody and anybody, because this person kind of sees you as being naive in some way as well. Despite you having wisdom and being someone who is really helpful to others, maybe you have like a very educated background, or you have this ability to give people guidance, they still see you as someone that is somewhat naive when it comes to emotional interactions or potential kind of, I'm hearing like this person seeing you get hit on in front of them and you not realizing that that's what's happening, you know, that kind of naivety. But that won't apply to all of you. For most of you, that was talking about the first part of that message with the curious mind, and the fact that this person feels very happy for the way that you are adaptive and dynamic with your way of thinking. I see with the Devil card and the Chariot, what they'll love most about you as time progresses is the fact that you have this kind of way with the Devil and the Chariot of showing that you are dependable, but also being aware of when you are overly dependent. And I think as your relationship progresses, that you will find the two of you becoming more and more intertwined. I think that as time progresses, this person's going to be like, yeah, I literally have you hook, line, and sinker. And you may be still thinking that you're hyper independent and like, no. I'm my free Aquarius self, but it's going to be very obvious with the Devil card that This is, you and this person are literally like tethered together. And I just think that it doesn't happen immediately. I almost feel like it's a slow release of like slowly just intertwining your identities together. But what they love is the fact that with the Devil card and the Chariot, you guys have fun with the fact that you feel so connected together. And I don't see it being codependent. I almost feel like it's just very overindulgent with the Devil card here, because the Devil card can sometimes talk about pleasure and seeking things for the way that it makes us feel physically. This person may see you as a bit of a hedonist, someone who appreciates those things in life that makes maybe very exciting or kind of titillating towards your senses. This person definitely sees you as a bit of a daredevil for some of you. Maybe you, as time progresses, you have this side of you that likes to kind of play with fire. This won't apply to all of you, but I am seeing like extreme sports, or like, what's the word, when people do things like bungee jumping and skydiving, like there's a strong feeling of pushing your limits here and not giving up, like your determination to overcome barriers and boundaries. It may translate in different kind of contexts, but it feels like you're someone that doesn't like to take no for an answer. You push and you push and you push and you push, and that's what makes you feel good. So let's close your reading by getting some advice on how you can get this connection moving in the right direction, especially if you're in separation. But regardless, when group 3 sees this reading, Spirit, what is the best advice for them? What is the best advice for group 3 in terms of their future spouse relationship? Wow. Yeah, Spirit is saying you are not a group that is supposed to be lacking. You are a group that is supposed to experience a lot of abundance. I create wonderful new beliefs for myself at the back of the deck. My consciousness is now being filled with positive thought patterns that contribute to my health, wealth, and loving relationships. There is a strong feeling of Empress-like progression. I'm hearing goddess-like progression and success in this lifetime. Your first card that came out is, my income is constantly increasing. I am worthy of prosperity and abundance. We also have, I express my true being. My wisdom and understanding of spirit increases, and I express more fully each day the inner beauty and strength of my true being. And last, we have, I am a yes person. I choose to see myself and life in the most positive ways. As such, I say yes to opportunity and prosperity. I say yes to all good. I rejoice that it is so. There is a strong feeling of this person coming into your life because you allow opportunity towards you. This person seems to come into your life at a time where things are changing. And while they may see your bad side, I use the air quotes because, sweets, we're all human. We all have bad sides, but that side of you that you don't like to broadcast, it may be at the forefront of your persona when this person comes in. But that's the thing, is like attracting them towards you is about you expressing your true being, staying open to opportunity, and believing that you deserve more. You may be very focused on your material success when this person comes in, or your finances and increasing your income could have to do with you meeting this person. Maybe until you are physically able to be in the same place as them, you can't physically meet them. But there is this strong feeling of like this connectedness, and this person seeing you as a soulmate from the beginning, being very attracted to you and drawn to you, and seeing you for who you truly are from the beginning as well. So that's what I have for you, group 3. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we'll have a look at you instead. We're going to have a look at how you will recognize your future spouse, what you'll like about them initially, and what you'll love most about them as the relationship progresses. We're then going to look at what advice a reader would give them in terms of how to connect with you right now as well, which could be very helpful. So if you would like to see the extended reading, the link is in the description box. It will take you to my website where the extended readings, or you go group 3, wherever you're going. I just want want to say thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube. Thank you for all of your support, your energy, your time, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye!